What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the CryptoKreamers. And today I have a buddy of mine, a complete Bitcoin maximalist. His name is Coin. Could you help me pronounce that? Because I can't pronounce that.
Coinicarus.
Coinicarus. Holy shit. That sounds even better than when I was reading it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the episode. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How about you? Thank you so much, by the way, for having me on your podcast. As you know, I'm a fellow podcaster, so I don't usually end up on this side of the conversation. So I'm super stoked to be here, man. CryptoKreamers. I like the name.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your background? What do you do? Where are you from?
All right. Well, I'm originally from Canada, right? From Canada.
Okay.
And I'm originally from Quebec. And I currently live in on the East Coast in the U.S. And my background is I'm originally network administrator. So I went to a technical program just to do network administration, and that when I finished school, right around the time I finished school, it was the 9/11. So I'm kind of giving a hint away to how old I am. I'm around, I'm 41. So when 9/11 happened, the IT sector, among many sectors, just dried right up. And it was brutal. And, so one minute we all had, internships and we all had jobs. And the next minute we had nobody wanting to hire us. Nobody even wanted us to come and work for free. So it was really, really tough, and I had to pivot. So what happened was that I did a whole bunch of just, PC repair and network cable installs and troubleshooting. I actually even wrote an article many years ago for the Hacker Quarterly, the 2600. Okay. I don't know if you're familiar with that publication, but that is an old original hacker publication where you could find anybody who hacked something cool. You'd find that you'd find an article about them, over there and their exploits. So unfortunately, I'm not that cool. All I did was a very simple, kind of like at home FTP website. And I explained how to set it up. Keep in mind that was back in, early 2000s. So not too many, you know what I mean? Like not too many people were doing that kind of stuff. And the ones who were still kind of in hiding, so it was, anyways, it was pretty cool. And from there, from PC repair, I went and I pivoted into access control, which is all those keyless entry cards, right? RFID and proximity, the frequency for proximity cards and stuff like that. So I troubleshoot those kinds of systems, and that's actually what I do today. Currently today, I'm a team lead for a support team, and I troubleshoot those products. And yeah, on the side, whenever I'm not doing that, it's Bitcoin all the time.
So you have a dirty fiat job, right?
Yep, that's right.
I heard that from, it was so funny. I heard that from the Unchained guy. I was like, dude, I have to take this from you. Because he was like, I had a dirty fiat job, and then I went full time to crypto. I was like, man, I'm stealing that from you, because that's hilarious.
Oh yeah,
man, that is so cool that you were in the beginning of the start of the hacker culture. That's super interesting. Yeah. So what were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and but obviously, before that point, you had all those the real old school hackers, right? Like the freakers, the phone hackers, and stuff like that.
I heard about that. I think
okay.
I saw, so remember, you know what I'm talking about, the Netflix thing of the OG guy. You know who this guy is, right? And he was he was the top dog of phone freaking. And then
it could be Captain Crunch.
I think it might be.
Well, that's actually where the 2600, that's where that magazine got its name from, right? So people who are not familiar with freaking, okay, back in the day in your Captain Crunch cereal, you used to get a little whistle, okay? And you could essentially, what you did was that you could, plug the holes in the whistle to blow it so that into your phone, you get the 2600, the 2600 megahertz tone, I believe it is. Okay. And from that, you'd end up getting free long distance. So that's where, that's where Captain Crunch, like that, that's where he actually got his name. He was actually making those, the little Captain Crunch whistles. And then it evolved from that. And you had these different types of things like blue boxes and stuff like that, that would allow you to make free calls and, hide your number and do all that kinds of stuff.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome. Excuse my language. That's really cool. I definitely want to, like talk to you in private a little bit more about that. But
Cool.
This is a crypto podcast, so
yes, that's right.
Let's dive right in. So what got you into Bitcoin?
So I originally came to Bitcoin for medium of exchange. I had no desire to actually quote unquote invest or spend any more time in it. For me, it was just a medium of exchange. I required a product, and I couldn't get it through any other means, and this was the best way to do it.
No, but give me an example. I don't understand what that means. Like how what do you mean? Like you use it for a medium of exchange? Like you couldn't use the dollar? Like I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't use a dollar. I couldn't use a debit card or a PayPal or Venmo or anything like that. So I had to then go to Bitcoin to actually be able to make the purchase, because the seller of the product essentially only accepted Bitcoin.
Understand. Okay.
So
okay. I get where you're going. Okay, that's awesome, man. That's exactly the same reason that I got into Bitcoin.
So to go on from that, essentially what happened was that I went and I purchased my first Bitcoin, and back then when I first got into it, it was late 2016, I believe. Okay. And the price was around $400.
Yeah, I got in at the same time. I got in mid 2016 as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's, like we saw that massive spike. I mean, it just went insane. Now, keep in mind, okay, so as that whole spike is happening, I'm just medium of exchange person. I'm being an idiot, and it's just costing me less and less Bitcoin to do my transactions. Nothing has clicked yet. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I haven't figured out.
I know totally
what this whole thing's about.
We all had the buy a pie of pizza with Bitcoin moment. I feel like that's part of the tuition cost that you need to pay being in this space. But
I agree.
So listen, man. Tell me about your website. I saw it. You got a really cool domain. I think it's called funwithbitcoin.com. How the hell did you get that? What is that website all about? Tell me more about it.
Cool. Thanks. So yeah, essentially what I wanted to do was I wanted to have a repository for my podcast and for, my blog posts and some of the articles that I've written. I haven't written anything that fancy, unfortunately. Mostly just, what is it? I've got an article about podcasting and 2 articles about diving into Lightning as a beginner, which actually have been fairly helpful, because a lot of people want to get into Lightning and, make a Lightning node, but they feel intimidated. So anyways, the website is really just a repository, but the way that I came up with Fun with Bitcoin was this, right? I first got into, after the whole medium of exchange person that I was, and I started to dive down the rabbit hole, and then I became a shitcoiner and all of that stuff.
Everyone fucking goes through that cycle, man. It's inevitable. It's like you start with shit coins. I don't even want to get into it. What were you saying?
Oh no, it was exactly like, it was just absolutely brutal. So I get into shit coins and everything like that, and then finally I start. My Twitter is full of noise. Right? It's all these shitcoin projects and, all these people telling you to buy their bags. And there I am tweeting like, this is a really interesting project. I think it has a future. What the fuck am I talking about? Like, am I allowed to swear? I'm sorry.
No, bro. Okay? Swear as much as you want. Okay. I don't care.
So, anyways, you don't know what you're doing and you think you're making sense. And of course, all these other bag holders are all, they're just cheering you on as well because you're holding the same bag as them. Yeah. And if you're not holding the same bag as them, they're trying to convince you to hold their bag.
And then they attack you, and then it's like this shared common delusion of shitcoinery.
Exactly. So what happened was that, in going through that, I became more and more a Bitcoiner, and essentially I realized from listening to a lot of the podcasts that what you said earlier when we were discussing before a podcast, a lot of them come out, very technical, and it kind of scares people away sometimes. So I wanted to do something a little bit more, a little bit more easygoing, still offer some technicals, but for the most part, just kind of get to the thinker behind the thought. You know what I mean? Like every single one of us comes from a series of experiences. So this is how, that, and I grew up watching, Big Bang Theory. And if you ever saw Big Bang Theory, you'll know the episode where Sheldon, where they do the fun with flags.
I haven't seen that episode,
So,
but I saw the Elon Musk one where they were like in the homeless shelter. That was fucking hilarious.
So, I figured, I just kind of like was sitting there and I was like, all right, what would be a cool name for a podcast? So at first I started off with Fun with Crypto. Mm-hmm. Okay. And this was when I was still kind of believing in shitcoins. To a certain extent. And then I switched it to finally last year. When I finally got rid of all my shit coins and just solid Bitcoiner, I changed the podcast name to Fun with Bitcoin. So that's awesome. That's what it is.
Bro, maybe now you're making me feel guilty. Maybe me and Crypto Cloaks need to change our names to Bitcoin.
He's already changing it.
He's already changing it?
I think so.
No, man. I don't know. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna ask him. I have the podcast with him tomorrow. I'm gonna ask him.
Yes.
But now I feel bad because I'm like CryptoKreamers. So should I be Bitcoin Creamers? I don't know, man. It doesn't sound as good. I like CryptoKreamers. It gets the noobs in, man. It gets them in.
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't do it for the peer pressure. I really did it because it was genuinely a changing of my view. And I wanted, I just really wanted to reflect that. Yeah. So it's like, if you're super stoked about your name and you love it and you like how it flows, do it.
No. But I did it. So look, the reason that it's called CryptoKreamers, in reality, I usually do most of the podcasts, but it's a WhatsApp group, and it's a group of like 20, 30 of us. And it's a group of software engineers, traders, miners like myself, and like just crypto enthusiasts, right? Like I have one of my good friends, I call him my little brother, his name is Ivan. He's a lead developer for Ethereum. You know what I mean? Like there's some geniuses in this group. And then I'm the Bitcoin guy, and I'm the miner, right? So it's like this, and then there's some traders, so it's like this huge, like it's just like group of like 50 people. We're all friends, and the group chat is called CryptoKreamers, right? So that's why I made the podcast CryptoKreamers. Not like cool. It wasn't like I wasn't planning anything or whatever. It's just like the WhatsApp group CryptoKreamers, this CryptoKreamers. And then sometimes I actually feature some of the people that are in the chat on the channel as well. So man, cool. Look, so I was going over your Twitter, and I saw some really interesting stuff. Hold on.
That's never good.
And the reason that I bring it up is because I wanted to get your perspective on these books, bro.
Oh man.
the Masonic Magician, the Eye of Revelation, so what is this? And what is this? First of all, I want to ask you, what is this? Because this is super interesting. The Science of Breath. You know what? I actually believe in that too. Because I meditate, so like cool. I understand the significance of breathing.
Yep.
That's funny, but
no, it's not. People, the average person does not know how to breathe. There's a reason why there's an insult called a mouth breather.
Yeah, no, right? It's true. It's true. No, but the reason I crack myself up is because it's like, I understand the significance of breathing. It's like, no shit. If you don't breathe, you're going to die. And so, but if you know what I meant, you know what I meant since you read the book.
Yep.
Since you read these types of books. So first question, what are these books? And the follow-up question is, does it influence your view? Does it influence on how you view Bitcoin or cryptocurrency? Or is this just a separate hobby?
Okay. So this is actually part of my original rabbit hole. So let's just say, like, okay, so look, not to draw it out too much, but it will end up that long anyways. Everybody has, the experiences that form who they are. And
Absolutely.
some of us have, incredibly difficult situations that happen to us. And I oftentimes in a few of my tweets, you'll see I talk about being introduced to your other self. And difficult situations make us introduce to our other self, this other person that is just, we'll say, they could be the stronger version of you, but they're your other self. Anyways,
we have a lot more in common than I thought when I was reading these books. So one of my favorite, so I believe that basically your biggest strength is also your biggest weakness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for example, like if you build this huge company and it requires a lot of ego,
mm-hmm.
that same ego could be the downfall of you as well, right? And if you don't, and there's also a really famous saying, right? It's kind of cliche at this point, and I've actually been through some crazy experiences in my time coming from Venezuela. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And if you don't die from those experiences, literally, you become a stronger person, and you find the power in yourself that you never thought that you had. So, man, like, I completely agree with everything you just said, and that's so interesting. I might read some of these.
This is exactly right. So essentially, I was always fascinated. My fascination really just started off with questioning religion, questioning authority, questioning all of these things, right? It's like, why am I having to do what you say? So what happened was that I got very obsessed with finding out the root symbolism behind things. So, and one of my biggest fascinations was mysticism. Or more specifically, we'll say magic. And it's not magic with a C, like not the guy that pulls the rabbit out of his hat. He's just an illusionist. We're talking about magic with a CK. And magic with a CK is essentially the, we'll say the transmutation, right? Like, how you hear about the alchemists trying to change lead into gold?
Yes.
Well, spiritually, you can change your spiritual lead into spiritual gold. And essentially, being fascinated always behind root symbolism, I ended up digging down this rabbit hole, of magic, and it actually started off with things like witchcraft.
Really?
Back when I was like 16, like 16, 17 years old, I had a big fascination with that and never really dug deeper. And then at some point at the age of 17, I had a very traumatic experience, which got me to question many different things. And I decided to dig down that rabbit hole. And what bothered me was I didn't understand why, as I was reading these books, well, where does that symbol come from? Where does that, where does this particular ritual come from? Why are they doing this? So I started to dig, and from digging through that, well, what happened was that witchcraft actually ended up leading to ancient Egyptian mysticism, because, believe it or not, a lot of pagan rites and stuff like that, they're very similar to even ancient Egyptian magic. So it's very, very interesting. And I mean, like, it's too bad for you that you asked about this, because I'll just drag this on. But no. I did a project on demonology many years ago, and essentially you could find that the majority of the symbols go back to ancient Sumerians and Sumerianism, or the Shem, I think they were referred to.
That's
pre-Babylonian times.
And that can't just be a coincidence, right? Like, that's super interesting.
Well, what it does is it leads a person to the conclusion that, number one, all the different beliefs that we have are simply just different stories of the exact same metaphors.
So let me add to that. So I don't believe in, so obviously I'm Latin American, so by tradition I'm Catholic, but I don't believe in organized religion. Mm-hmm. I don't think that as human beings we have the capacity to understand what God is, or like we can't define it. It's impossible. Our brains, like our human brains, can't comprehend it, right? So what you're saying, you've obviously dug much farther deeper than I have, right? But I this is crazy, man. This is something super interesting. So how did this affect your view on crypto somewhat?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I mean, it would seem kind of unrelated, right?
It's not. No,
but
it's
interest,
not. That's
but
why I asked the question.
yeah, like exactly. Like, but to the layman, it'll definitely seem unrelated, but it absolutely is, because that's actually part of what got me to fall in love with Bitcoin was I saw it as, this is incentivizing us to low time preference. And if you, first of all, you were talking about breathing. Well, breathing is a very low time preference act. Okay. Especially if you're doing concentrated breathing, because the benefits aren't really immediate. You have to do this for a long period of time, and you have to do it consistently. So it is not immediate gratification. So it's very interesting, because Bitcoin also falls into that low time preference. So I found that, and the other part of it that I found that had to do with spirituality was the incentives. I found that as a result, because of low time preference, I find that it tunes our incentives to be of better quality. So having better quality incentives, I mean, I am going to assume is going to create better quality experiences on the material plane.
Oh, of course. Of course. So, man, you've from the spiritual aspect, obviously you've dove way deeper into the rabbit hole than I'm there yet. I focus more on the hardware aspect, but from where I am, I completely agree with what you're saying, and I think we see eye to eye on that. So that's super interesting, man. I love to hear different stories of like people's different hobbies and how that makes them view crypto. So that's super fucking cool. I'm definitely going to take a look at some of those books. So coming to basically my final questions, and what I found so interesting about you is, man, how many nodes do you have?
Oh, what was it? I am up to either 8 or 9. But
oh my God.
I mean, at this point, it's just an addiction, right? Like,
yes, bro, it really is, man. Like, you build one, and then you want another one, and then you want another one.
Fun.
I'm building my, bro. I have so I live between Miami, Puerto Rico, and Dominican Republic, and I have a node in each one of the houses, and then
sick.
Yeah. So, and then like my girlfriend's like, like, why do you need to do this? And I like, she doesn't understand. But I'm like building another one, like in my house in Miami. So because the Wi-Fi in my living room isn't like it's not powerful enough to get to like my bedroom, and I'm using Electrum personal server, so I have to change Wi-Fi when I'm in my bedroom, but I don't have a node there, so I could only check my like Electrum if I'm in the living room. So now I'm building another node to have one in my bedroom as well. But yeah, and then I'll probably build another one to put in my garage. So man, let's show the audience some of the amazing nodes that you have designed. Check this out. This is fucking cool. Crazy.
Oh, thanks, man.
So this is fucking awesome. I know what it is, but how did you get? Okay, that's a 3D printed case. Tell me more about that.
Okay, so big shout out to CryptoCloaks, who you're going to be talking to next week. Okay, so CryptoCloaks definitely inspired me to get into 3D printing. I was already excited, and then when I saw his nodes, I was already making these kind of cases, but I was using ones that I had already had made out of metal. And it was just like, it wasn't like, I didn't like working with metal, like it was just like, it was annoying, and it wasn't, very malleable.
Bro, wait, hold on. That, first of all, that's sick, but this just gave me an idea. If I send you my logo and I pay you, could you 3D print a case for me?
Oh yeah.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Bro, that would be fucking awesome. Like with the LED and everything.
Oh my God.
Dude, I'll pay. Listen, I'll pay for all the material. I'll pay for the bro, everything. And like, if you want to put a margin on it, I don't care, man. But that's so cool. That's so fucking cool, man. The fact that, because you said you made it custom. I thought you bought this someplace. That's what
No, I printed these myself. I actually, I had an original design, right? And then what I did was I was like, all right, I want to make the same thing, but in plastic, and I want it to be slightly smaller. So that's exactly what I did. So I just, 5 months of tinkering. And finally, like you can see like right here between the hard drive and the Raspberry Pi, there's like that little divider. And there's like these kind of little clips that hold over the Raspberry Pi. So it actually clips in. It's
okay. So it clips.
Actually, not too bad.
So it clips in. Here's
not too bad for a first model.
Here's the SATA hard drive or SSD. There's the RGB. Yep. There's the RGB for the blue light.
Yep.
Man, bro, dude, whatever you want me to pay you, man, I'll buy one from you. This looks awesome. Okay, so let's move on to the next one.
Thank you, by the way.
Okay, this is fucking. Look at this, man. You put your own fucking Darth Vader logo with purple RGB, and this is Raspberry Blitz, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. So this is exactly it, right? Like the screen actually fits completely in, like it just completely slides in. Don't get me wrong, I still added 2 dabs of glue behind it to hold it in place just to make sure. But it's still, anyways, this is the Raspy Blitz version of that same case. And yeah, what I did was that, shout out to Bitco, because he's the one who made my logos. Okay, so what he did was that he gave me an SVG file, which I was then able to put onto this, like, because I printed this case, so I was able to essentially superimpose my logo onto the case and then lift it up. So it, as you could see, it comes out.
Yeah, of course.
It's pretty cool.
It's 3D or whatever. Okay, so last but definitely not least, let's take a deeper dive into this beauty. Look at that. Look at that. That's gorgeous. That's art.
Not bad, huh?
Oof, look at that. That's amazing, man.
So
I really want one, but with my logo.
if you're gonna want one with your screen, if you're gonna want one with the screen, just remember you're gonna have to buy. No, you have a MyNode?
No. Yeah, I use MyNode. No, I don't want one with the screen. All I want is I don't want one with the screen. I just want it to have my BITVOLT logo. This one right here.
Cool.
That shouldn't be that hard, right?
Nope.
Awesome. Cool. So, that's awesome. Your nodes are incredible. Hacking, that's so fucking cool. The books, we're definitely going to have a deeper talk about that. Very interesting character. Love, I'm sure the audience would love, to actually find out who Coinicarus is, instead of just looking at this, avatar. And of course, I have to ask this because we have to make this Bitcoin bull porn. What are your price predictions and expectations?
I am so not a price prediction dude. I mean, I'm just bullish. I don't like giving numbers because I have no fucking idea. I just know this. I'm super excited. Every single time I've ever been this excited, amazing things happen. So you know what? I just go with my guts, and my gut's telling me be here now.
Man, so if you have good energy,
be here now.
If you have good energy, you attract good energy, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm a bit of a stoic. So man, that's just the world, man. You let go. I mean, you let go or not let go, but you basically bleed out good energy, and good things happen to you, or at least that's what I think. Anyways,
I agree.
It's CryptoKreamers tradition, so I have to ask you this question, and we do not take no for an answer. What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Ice cream.
Yes, sir.
I was never thinking of that.
Oh, we ask all our guests.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go with like vanilla bean.
Ooh, okay. Man, so
goes with everything.
Yeah, but no, it's good. It's solid. So it's so funny because when I first started asking everyone like this question, bro, you have no idea. They give you like the craziest like flavors and like coffee and like we have to drive to this place and whatever. And then I haven't met one person that just gives me, because if you ask me, I'd be like chocolate.
Yeah,
I'd be super basic about it.
I was thinking about chocolate. I was like, chocolate? I'm like, but man, vanilla bean is pretty damn good.
Yeah, dude, if it's, I don't know why everyone gets so complicated. Anyways, everyone, thanks for watching. This is the guy behind the Coinicarus. This is him. This is who he is. I'm going to put some more information about those lovely books and some more pictures of his nodes, or at least links to the pictures of his nodes down in the description. And like always, if you guys like the episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys on the next one.